So, Jerry, what were your impressions? And do you do impressions?
I don't do impressions, thankfully, because we want the show to go on for another 5 years, so we don't want that.
Not even one.
I'll come flat out and say it. I thought it was wonderful. I don't know if it makes a whole lot of sense, if you tear it apart. I don't really care about that, but I thought it was wonderful, and it wasn't at all what I expected. It was not anything that I expected. I think the moment they set foot on that barn, that movie takes...
it does, doesn't it?
It takes it to a whole nother level. But I think there is something in the film that I think they'll look back years from now and say thematically and just there's something he's getting across that I notice in recent science fiction movies they haven't been able to get across, and it's just the landscape, and it just takes place in 2044, and it says that we are a very stagnant civilization. We just stopped progressing at some point. And this is going on now, and I've said this time and time again, we don't make things anymore. We don't invent things. We refine things and make them smaller, but we don't really invent anything anymore. And I thought that was, in the first 5 minutes of the film, displayed perfectly without having to say anything even. Forget the voiceover narration.
Right.
I just thought within that, but then this film takes on larger dimensions of plot, and not that I don't know, I'm sure maybe on repeated viewings it might not hold up, but Bruce Willis needs to be called out between this and Moonrise Kingdom and say, my God, he's getting better with age. He's superb in this film. Bruce
Willis has actually said that this is his favorite movie that he's done, Looper.
That scene when he goes back to Jeff Daniels' club, you just want to. I almost want to get up and give a standing ovation just at the end of that sequence. It was so incredible. Jeff Daniels is good. Just a little bit performances, but I think Rian Johnson is a force after this film, and obviously with the amount of money it made this weekend, it just everything came together and works perfectly in it.
I hope it holds on.
I love it.
I hope word of mouth keeps it in the forefront. I think that I watched it and I haven't dissected the plot and torn it apart to see if it holds together.
It's not worth it. It's just don't do it.
I think in future viewings that's probably what you're going to find yourself doing, because you'll be able to examine it a bit closer.
Right.
But, in a way I thought, plot schmott. The movie has enormous vision in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the depiction of the futuristic world and that it's a world that is instantly relatable. It's not out there.
Yeah.
No,
it's not.
If anything, there's a greater divide between the haves and the have-nots as depicted in Looper in that world. I thought that Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt were great. I thought that the kid in the movie, and I actually thought this before he really did anything dramatic in it. His first couple of scenes, I thought, this is a great performance from a child actor. I mean, a really young child actor. I thought he was astounding in the movie. And Garrett Dillahunt, our good buddy Garrett Dillahunt's in the movie too.
I was like, oh my God, he's in this?
And he has the best moment in the movie. I mean, the coolest kind of jaw-dropping moment in the movie comes with him. I admire the heck out of its vision, and its editing, particularly in that first quarter, is so tight. I mean, there's not a wasted frame. It just blows by. And then it develops a kind of a sense of great pathos and when in the second half of the movie, the second act, that I thought was really interesting. And the ending, the ending plays a bit enigmatic, particularly with the last two shots of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I don't know if that particularly holds up, but why would they put it there unless it held up in some way? I mean, people can say things don't hold up, but, this guy spent years writing it. He got hundreds and hundreds of people on board with it. It was financed. He went through the trouble of making it. If it didn't hold up, you'd think that one of those people would question, this doesn't hold up. I'm sure that it makes some sort of sense in his mind. It's just elusive to me right now.
And you talk about not dissecting. It's the one thing that I hated about The Dark Knight Rises. Everyone's dissecting that third act, saying, how this doesn't hold up at all. And I just want to say, people, why can't you just enjoy the movie for now? We'll do that later. And that's and I actually think, when I say it doesn't make sense, I just think on one viewing you're just kind of like, there's all this jumping around, going throughout time and everything. And what the best thing this movie does, I don't know if you were doing this, Jamie, you are thinking constantly, because of the time travel aspect, is there something, the characters who've gone back in time and are now in the film's present, what did they do? Did they set up something to make it, there's all these things you're playing constantly. The film is making you think of every character's actions. Is there something we're missing here? Is there something I missed? Is this girl from the future? It's just, the film keeps you on your toes, I would say, the whole time.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't say that about a lot of movies lately.
Yeah,
but
time travel movies are tricky. I mean, they really are. You got to keep a bunch of balls in the air, but the movie really establishes its own kind of logic, and either you go with it or you don't. But I mean, my main question of the movie is: we know that Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are the same person, but it alludes that there's a third character who is also the same person.
Yes.
And that's my question lingering after seeing that movie.
Right.
But that's
I know
good.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's
great.